Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're breaking down a pretty wild pitch from a company called Fractal AI Technologies. Their big idea? What if the headphones you're wearing right now could double as your own personal hedge fund?
Okay, let's just pause on that for a second. The company doesn't lead with charts or data. Nope. They start with this scene, a vision of the future where you're making a luxury purchase, and in that exact same moment, your earbuds are whispering stock market predictions to you.
And that's really the big question here, isn't it? Is this whole thing just a cool sci-fi concept, or are they actually onto something that could become real? So let's unpack how they claim they're going to pull this off. All right, first up, let's really dig into the core vision. It's basically built on two really powerful ideas, making something incredibly exclusive but also incredibly useful all in one package. So the dream is this. Your next fancy pair of headphones doesn't just play your podcasts. It gives you a literal, real-time edge in the financial markets. And they want to make this tech so desirable that it becomes the ultimate status symbol. Okay, so a huge vision, right? But how? How does it actually work? Well, that brings us to the engine behind it all, a piece of tech they've nicknamed the AI telescope. They're saying this system can listen to the absolute chaos of the market, all the buying, selling, and noise, and somehow pick out clear signals that predict what's coming next. The whole point is to give regular people access to alpha, which is just Wall Street talk for an unfair advantage. And to make this idea stick, they use a really smart analogy. You know how translation AI from Apple or Google can listen to a sentence and predict the next word? Well, they're saying their AI does the same thing, but instead of words, it analyzes market noise to predict the next market move. And this is where they put a number on it. We're not talking vague promises here. They are claiming their system can predict short-term market movements with 66 to 77% accuracy. That's a very bold claim. Now you might be wondering, where does all this confidence come from? Well, they point to some serious heavy hitters. They're linking their work to 35 years of research and name-dropping institutions like IBM Labs, the legendary hedge fund Renaissance Technologies, and even the godfather of AI himself, Geoffrey Hinton. Okay, so we have the tech, we have the vision, but how do you turn that into a real business that actually makes money? Let's talk strategy. How are they planning to get this into the hands of potentially billions of users? First off, the playground they want to be in is, well, it's enormous. We're talking about markets where over $10 trillion are traded every single day. The scale is just mind-boggling. So their game plan is basically a two-pronged attack. On one side, they're going after the big fish, hedge funds, family offices, the institutional money. But on the other side, they're targeting a massive retail audience through partnerships with companies like Revolut and Meta. And here's the really crucial part of their plan. They're not trying to build a new consumer brand from scratch. That's incredibly hard. Instead, their whole strategy is to just plug their AI directly into the biggest tech ecosystems that already exist. Instant access to billions of people. All right, so this all sounds incredibly ambitious. What's it going to cost to get this thing off the ground? Let's look at the numbers and see what they're asking for. The headline number is this. They're looking to raise $3.5 million. For that investment, they're offering up 23% of the company, which means they're valuing their startup right now at $15 million. But, they're also being pretty clever about this. They know not everyone can write a multi-million-dollar check. So they're offering smaller options, different tranches, to let a wider range of investors get in on the action early. And this next part is really interesting. They're even floating the idea of crowdfunding. They say they were inspired by the founder of Revolut, which tells you this isn't just about raising cash. It's a strategy to build a loyal, passionate community around the project from day one. So it all comes full circle, right back to that initial idea. This pitch from Fractal AI isn't really just about a new gadget or some clever code. It's about a possible future, a fundamental change in our relationship with technology and money. And it leaves us with one massive question to think about. Are your devices about to become your most trusted financial advisors?